Today we're going to talk about alcohol, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And is it worth it to drink alcohol? Does it bring good into your life or does it bring negative? Let's find out. Okay, listen, for me, I started drinking when I was like 13 or 14 years old. I had this friend, Colin McKinnon, and he was like 6 feet tall in grade 7. And he had a mustache thicker than Tom Selleck's at that time. And I mean, he could get into the liquor store. We'd pool our money together, whatever we saved up from the week, you know, our lunch money, all this, and we'd get a bottle of Captain Morgan. And we used to get these juice packs. I don't know if you remember them. I think they were like 25 cents or 10 cents or something at the time. And we would have a juice pack and we'd have the Captain Morgan. And I downed some of the Captain Morgan, like just straight, which tasted horrible. I can't even look at it. And then we chased it with the juice pack. And I mean, I have fond memories, obviously hanging out with my buddy Blaze, JJ, Colin, and we'd go drinking. We'd go to these East Bay dances and chase girls. And I mean, we had a lot of fun. And so drinking in those days was great. And I mean, we were kind of hiding it from our parents. So, you know, you were sneaking around and it was, you know, drinking was fun back in those days. Fast forward into my teens, into my later teens and into my 20s. I didn't really drink a whole lot then because I really got into the gym. You know, drinking just didn't work with that. I would drink occasionally, but I just didn't drink a whole lot, right? Now, fast forward to when I moved out west and got on the drilling rigs. Those guys, I mean, they're kind of rough and tough and they give 110% at everything. And I mean, they give 110% at work and they give 110% when it comes to drinking. Let me tell you, some of those guys can drink. And I mean, I was included in there. I was right in there in the fun, right? And we would have a lot of fun. We would work hard. We'd work 12 hours a day, sometimes for 20, 30 days in a row. We'd get the odd day off here and there. And then, you know, sometimes I was working 2 on, 1 off. Sometimes I'd work, you know, 2 months straight, and we'd get days off in between there, casing breaks and all this stuff. And we'd go out and we'd party, right? We'd have fun. We'd try and cram all the fun from, you know, that we needed for 2 weeks that maybe a normal person would get on their weekends, or we'd try and cram it in 1 or 2 nights, right? And so that's kind of how the last 20 years of my life have gone, right? I've, you know, drank sometimes, never drank every day, that's for sure. And, you know, have some here and there. And I mean, as I get older, as I learn more about the negative effects of alcohol, especially on your body, especially on your brain, especially on your mental wellness and your physical wellness, you know, I just noticed that I'm drinking less and less and less. And of course, I think as you get older, the hangovers are worse. Like when you were in your late teens and your 20s, you know, you could have, you know, whatever, 10 or 15 drinks and wake up the next day and not feel that bad, you know. If I have 10 or 15 drinks now, I mean, forget about it. I haven't had 10 or 15 drinks in a while. It affects you differently, right? And as you get older, your priorities change, obviously. And I mean, I'm seeing my boys right now. My older boy, JJ, 17, and you know, he's kind of learned at an early age because we were a little bit open with him and kind of let him, you know, do what he wanted and experiment him. And he got sick early on a couple of times. And, you know, so I think that has affected the way he drinks now, but he's smart about it and he has fun when he goes out with his friends and drinks, and he realizes if he has too many, you know, he's not going to feel good the next day. You know, I think for yourself, drinking can have a lot of benefits in social situations. You know, if you feel anxiety, if you feel, you know, nervousness and you have a couple of drinks. But I wouldn't use it as a crutch for these things, you know, but going out with friends and having a couple drinks, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that's okay. I think, you know, as I've learned more about the negative effects of alcohol, do I think of those things more? Yes, I do. Like my friend Coralie says, once you're aware, you were never not aware. And now that I know how bad alcohol is, I mean, you know, you see these guys online who stop drinking for a year, 2, 3, 4 years. You never really have a bad day. And I mean, I think about that all the time because the nights say that I have 4 or 5 drinks. I mean, I'm not up early. I'm not meditating. I'm not doing my breath work. I'm not doing all these things. It kind of changes the day. Now, is it okay to have some of those days sometimes? Yes, I think so. If you're not where you're at in your life, should you be avoiding drinking? Possibly. I think you have to gauge that for your own situation, right? But I mean, alcohol, it's like anything. Some things can be good for your life. Some things can be bad. Some things can be used in a positive way and some things can be used in a negative way, obviously. And it just depends on the, you know, the situation and how it's affecting you. And I think with alcohol, obviously you need to be really careful with it. The access to it, it's on every corner. It's, you know, there's a liquor store, it's everywhere and easily, cheaply available. So you need to be careful in that way. But, you know, I think alcohol, when used correctly, in just fun situations, at a barbecue on the weekend, or you go out to the bar in a social situation with a few guys after work, I don't see any harm in that. At the end of the day, you really need to decide for yourself. Be honest with yourself. Evaluate the situation. Are you drinking too much? If you are drinking too much, set up some rules for yourself. Exercise your discipline. You can get there. You can change everything. You know the saying that I love, every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around. And you can do the same thing with alcohol. I've seen countless friends of mine do it, and you know, you can do it too. So if you have a problem with alcohol, sort it out, get some professional help, do what you can. If you don't, enjoy it. Try not to feel guilty about it. Maybe don't listen to too much of what Andrew Huberman says, because you're gonna feel bad. But yeah, hope this helps you guys out, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.